welcome to OT Sports. Got a new name here on the channel. I like it better. I think, you know, I think, I think it's better. But you let me know. I think we changed like the whole branding. We made a new logo, new banner, new all that. So, let me know if you guys like it. Took a little while. I'm working on some things right now, some new ideas, some new types of videos that we're gonna start to do. Um, yeah, it should be. We should have a lot of content coming here to the channel soon. Today we're gonna be doing our second chance bracket for March Madness. Um, as uh, as you know, nobody's ever probably ever gonna get a perfect bracket, and my bracket was not perfect this year, but it's not horrible. It's not horrible, but we do have our second chance here for March Madness. I don't know if anyone's ever been perfect in this. Maybe because it's only however many games. I'm not gonna count. But yeah, this is our second chance, so. We're going to be going over who I picked in the second round and kind of reviewing those games pretty quick, and then we're going to give you my picks for these games. So let's just get right into it. So we got Alabama versus San Diego State. Alabama played Maryland, and they won 73-51. They looked really good in that game. Um, yeah, they looked really good, but San Diego State looked pretty good too. They played 13 seeded Furman, and they won 75-52. They dominated that entire game. Similar scores, both teams. Um, Alabama is. Um, they've been looking really dominant in their first two games, and against San Diego State here, these two teams both have very good defenses. But I think the difference is I think Alabama's offense is just a lot better than San Diego State here, and I'm gonna take Alabama to win this game. I like what they've been doing with Quinterly and Brandon Miller, and I think Nate Oates. I think that's his name. Um, for their coach, I think he's a really good coach, and I trust Alabama to beat San Diego State here. But San Diego State had a good run. I actually had this part right. I had um, every game in this little group of Alabama. I picked Alabama and I picked Maryland. I picked San Diego State and Furman, and then I had Alabama, San Diego State here in this. And I am gonna keep my pick, and I'm gonna take Alabama over San Diego State. So yeah, this is just staying how it was. I predicted it right, and I'm gonna keep it how I had it. Next up, we got a weird matchup here in the Sweet 16. A 6 seed versus a 15 seed. Creighton. Uh, they've been looking really good. They took down NC State in a little bit of a close game, and then they dominated Baylor the entire game. And Princeton, talk about a Cinderella story. This is definitely this year's Cinderella story. Uh, I mean, I didn't even think they would win their conference. I thought Yale would beat them, but they're now number one. They're the 100th team in offensive efficiency and 96th in defense. St. Peter's last year was the first 15 seed to make the Elite Eight, and I don't, I just don't see Princeton being able to take down Creighton. I like how Creighton matches up against them. They're really efficient offensively and defensively, both in the top 25. And I just don't know if a 15 seed can make the Elite Eight back to back years. They did take down Arizona and Missouri on their way here. I picked Creighton over Baylor, and I picked Missouri over Princeton. Princeton did end up winning. But I'm going to take Creighton in this game. And then this is a really tough game. In my main bracket, I have this Elite Eight matchup, Alabama Creighton. I'm going to stick to it. think these are the two best teams in this region, if I'm being honest. And these two teams have both looked really good so far. And this game would be played on Saturday, I think. Yes, or no, this would be Sunday. Um, I'm gonna take Alabama. I don't think Creighton has what it takes to beat Alabama, and I just don't know. Um, I like Alabama in this matchup. They're both very good teams. But I'm gonna stick to what I had in my original bracket. Give me Alabama to the Final Four. All right, now we're gonna do uh the East region. This region's had a lot of chaos. So FAU took down Memphis. In my main bracket, I had Memphis winning that game. I actually had Memphis in the Elite Eight, and then but FAU did win, and then they played up against Fairleigh Dickinson. Obviously, I had Purdue, and then FAU and Fairleigh Dickinson in my video a couple of days ago. I took FAU to win, and they did win. And then Tennessee Duke. I took Duke in my second round predictions because Duke smoked Oral Roberts, and I thought Oral Roberts was a very good team. But Duke just looked really good, and Tennessee kind of they were up most of the game against Louisiana, but Louisiana made it close at the end, and it looked like they could have upset potential, and Tennessee did hold on. And then Tennessee just went out and dominated Duke from the get go. Tennessee's looked really good this tournament. That Duke game, I think it's gonna give them a lot of momentum here. These are two games are probably, in my opinion, actually no. I would say this game is probably top three, probably the third hardest game to pick in my opinion. This is a tough game. Um, really tough. I'm gonna take Tennessee. I like their defense in this matchup. They have the number one defense in all of college basketball. And FAU is not a bad team either. Top 35 in offense and defense. And Tennessee does have, it is a little scary taking them without Zakai Ziegler. But I like Tennessee here. I just like him against FAU. Um, the thing that worries me about this game, though, FA in the last, I want to say there's like it's been most of the time, 8 or 9 seed beats a 4 seed in the Sweet 16 whenever they play. That worries me a little. It does, but I'm gonna trust Tennessee. They've been playing good without Zakai Ziegler, which really surprised me, but they've been looking good, so I'm gonna take Tennessee. This is probably the hardest game to pick here. Kansas State and Michigan State. Kansas State is a top 50 offense and a top 20 defense, while Michigan State has a top 40 offense and a top 30 defense. I'm still back and forth on this game. I really don't know who to pick. Yeah, I mean, this game is just really, 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 really tough to pick. Um, the reason I'm taking Michigan State, um, okay, well, first let me say Michigan State likes to shut down a team's best player, and Kansas State has probably the best duo in the country with Keontae Johnson and Marquise Noel. So that might give Michigan State some problems, but I like Tom Izzo, and Kansas State coach Jerome Tang is in his first year coaching. I like Tom Izzo's experience, and this is a really split game. I haven't been high on Kansas State all year. Uh, if they had a better matchup, I could see them making it farther. But I just like Tom Izzo in March, and I think he gets it done. And I know you gotta have an ups. It's not gonna be all chalk in the Sweet 16. And then this gives us a matchup of Tennessee and Michigan State in the Elite Eight. This is another really tough one to pick, and Um, I'm back and forth on this one too. Tom Izzo's a great coach, and Tennessee's been looking really, really, really good. Um, I still, this is still really tough to pick, but I'm gonna take Tennessee to win this game here to go to the final four. All right, so then we got in the Midwest, we got Houston and Miami here. Um, Houston. Oh, I forgot to mention Michigan State took down Marquette, which was my first Final Four team that was eliminated. I was kind of upset about that, but they just played better, and it's March. I mean, you don't know what to expect. And so I took Kansas. No, I took Kentucky over Kansas State, and I took Marquette. So I got both those wrong, but yeah. Okay, so Houston took down Auburn and forgot Northern Kentucky to get here, and Miami beat Drake in Indiana. I had Houston over Auburn, but I had Indiana over Miami. But Miami did win. They looked good in that game. This is a tough game to pick. Miami's offense is hard to stop sometimes. They have the number 11 offense in the country, but I think Houston is just the more well-rounded team here. And yeah, I mean, Houston has a top the number 9 offense and the number 4 defense. That's just hard to look past. So I'm gonna take Houston over Miami. I think they could slow down Miami's high-powered offense. Xavier, Texas. Xavier looked really good against Pitt. They didn't. They could not miss. But against Texas, I just don't see it happening 2 games in a row, especially with that big long 3 or 4 day break between their games. So I'm gonna take Texas. Texas has the number 15 offense and number 10 defense. So give me Texas. I think they're the more well-rounded team. So yeah, give me the Longhorns, and then in the Elite Eight, Houston versus Texas, a Texas battle. Houston is going to be in the Big 12 next year, so this could turn into a big rivalry game. But I'm gonna take the Cougars over the Longhorns. This is a tough game to pick. One of the hardest, probably the hardest game to pick in the Elite Eight. Well, I don't know if I'd say. Actually, it's close between two. But this is a really tough game to pick. But I'm gonna take Houston though. I like Houston. They've looked good. They looked really good against Auburn, and I mean Texas has looked good against Colgate and Penn State too, and that's hard to look past. These two teams have both um, been by far the 2 best teams in this region, in my opinion. But I'm gonna take Houston over Texas to go to the Final Four. And then in the West region, we got Arkansas, who took down. Um, I keep forgetting to do this. So, and then for Xavier, um, I had Pitt beating Xavier. That did not happen, and I had Texas over Penn State. So yeah. Okay. So for Arkansas, I had Kansas beating Arkansas, and Arkansas went out and they got it done against Kansas without Bill Self. I think that was probably the reason, because Kansas did not have Bill Self. I think with him they would have won, but they did not have him. And sometimes things like that are just gonna happen, and Arkansas took advantage of what they were given, and they got it done. And then I had UConn over St. Mary's. Um, I don't really have to think about this game too much. I think UConn's looked like maybe the best team in the tournament so far. call me crazy, but I just think they have. And yeah, I'm gonna take UConn over Arkansas. They're a really efficient team, and yeah, this is the other matchup that is one of the hardest games for me to pick. Gonzaga and UCLA. UCLA has the number 21 offense and the number 2 defense. And Gonzaga has the number 1 offense and the number 75 defense. I'm going to take UCLA. Again, I like the well-rounded teams. I think they're more well-rounded, and I know they don't have Jalen Clark, but they look dominant in their in these games without him. I know Northwestern and UNC Asheville are no Gonzaga, but they looked really good against Northwestern. Northwestern did make it close at the end, but they were up 10 for most of that game. And Gonzaga's they struggled in the first half against Grand Canyon. They didn't end up winning by a lot, and then they played a close game with TCU. It was back and forth. I like UCLA in this matchup. This is if the Houston Texas game isn't the toughest one. It's this one. This one is very hard for me to pick. This one. This one's tough. UCLA is the number 3 team in KenPom, and UConn is the number 4 team in KenPom. UCLA has the number 21 offense, the number 2 defense, and UConn has the number 3 offense and the number 14 defense. The numbers are saying UConn. But I'm gonna take UCLA. They were in my Final Four in my original bracket, and I'm gonna keep it like that. But UConn UConn could make it. UConn could win it all. I'm not even joking. But I'm gonna take UCLA. This could come back to bite me. I could see UCLA losing to Gonzaga. I could see them losing to UConn. But I'm gonna take them here. They were my original. They were my about a week before March Madness. They were my team I was gonna pick to win it all. So I'm gonna trust them here. But that could. This region is really really tough to pick. Gonzaga, UCLA, and UConn could all come out of the West. But I'm gonna take UCLA. Then in the Final Four, we got Alabama, Tennessee, at SEC matchup. And I think this could go well for Tennessee if they get this matchup. But I'm gonna take Alabama. They were my pick originally to win it all in my main bracket. So I'm gonna trust them against Tennessee. And I wasn't all that high on Tennessee. I like Alabama more, so I'm gonna take them. Houston, UCLA. This is a really tough game for me to pick, especially because it's in Houston. But I just think I think UCLA will give it to them. I think Houston's gonna fold under the pressure, and UCLA. I know both these teams have very experienced teams, but I just like UCLA. Houston was my preseason pick to win it all, and UCLA was my before conference tournaments. They were my pick to win it all. So a little matchup here. And then we got Alabama versus UCLA. This is what my final was in my main bracket. I'm going to take Alabama again to win it all. So yeah, that's my Sweet 16 bracket. I wish I could give you guys Elite 8 predictions once the Sweet 16 is over. But I can't because I'm going to be on vacation for spring break. So I apologize, but once I get back, I'll give you my Final Four picks and stuff like that. I'm working on some stuff. I'm trying to get some people to come on these videos with me. I'm working on some stuff, some different, not all college basketball. Working on some NBA stuff. I got some ideas for NFL. And then obviously we'll have college football when it comes around. But yeah, that's gonna be the video. The first video under the new name OT Sports. Let me know if you guys like it. And join the Discord. There's gonna be linked in the description. If you wanna come appear on one of these videos because I could use some help. I would take it, all the help I could get, and yeah, that's gonna be the video for today. Like, subscribe if you're new, if you're just seeing this, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.